All right, welcome back to Free Spirit Tarot. I am Portia. You are here for your September reading for Pisces. This is not a natal chart reading. This is not a horoscope reading, but I will be using my astrology cards to help me determine what we could be looking out for in the month of September. We are on September 2nd today. The month is just really getting started, but we're going to go ahead and give you this reading because couldn't have missed too much yesterday. You know what I'm saying? If you did, then you already know what we're talking about when we speak on these cards. So this is not a pick a card reading either. My little stones here are just for decoration. These here mark different stages of astrology. This right here will be our planets. This will be our houses. These will be our aspects. These will be our nodes. And these will be our asteroids. And then along with that, I'll be giving you a Kipper reading to see if it matches or relates to anything that we've just laid out in front of us here today. Or there may be a separate message that's there for you as well. So welcome to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit like to let me know that you are into the videos that I am putting out on the channel for you. And let's get started. Okay. So because there's so little cards and there's different piles, what I'm just doing is mixing them up. I don't do like a real big handy dandy shuffle, but I hope you could tell that I am mixing these up. For the Pisces, we have that you could be a little bit mystical. You're a dreamer, got your head in the clouds. You're always planning stuff. You're a hopeless romantic. You can be quite intuitive. May have psychic abilities that you haven't tapped into yourself. You already probably looking at me like, what the heck is she going to be talking about? And let's see if I can prove her wrong. That type of situation. Sometimes you may deal with certain addictions that you may have, and they could be substance or they could be physical addictions, food, uh, sex. You have a sensitivity to what people think or feel about you. Okay. Um, like I said, you could be very spiritual, and sometimes you just want to escape away from everybody, and it may seem a little impractical that you do that. Okay. What planet are we working with today? We are working with Mars. We're talking about what actions. Okay, so when we deal with our planets, we want to know how we're going to do what we're going to do. And so, as far as the Pisces is concerned, for the month of September, we're going to be putting stuff into action. And what we're going to be doing, and where are we going to be doing this? What house are we going to be working with as far as our action is concerned? Let's find out. I'm getting a lot of familiar cards pop up. I have 12 zodiacs. I have 12 different houses, 12 different planetary alignments here, and I still keep getting the same things for everybody. Community. Okay, so we're putting action into community here. All right, so I'm looking at leadership position that you may be dealing with, um, helping to heal the community, possibly. Maybe within the creative area. No, I'm more on the spiritual side. You definitely want to give back. So maybe you are a tarot reader. I know there's a few of them on this channel, so it's not like, oh my gosh, guess we were tarot readers. A lot of us watch other people's channels. So, but I'm speaking of the ones who have not done so yet, who give insight to their friends, the social circles. You may plan some of the like more holistic practices and stuff like that. You may want to go to smudge, help somebody smudge their home. You know, yeah. Did you see the movie? What was it called? Just One of Them Days. Kiki Palmer and SZA, and how SZA was so much into her spiritual side, and she was always like giving her friends the spiritual advice and things like that, and how the universe aligns. And I see you as that person for your friends. You sometimes sacrifice your own thoughts and feelings for the sake of your friends' energy. It can be a bit draining at times. Yep, there we go with our challenge. In the square, you are coming up with challenges to help you build this community and be that um, friend that you need to be as far as from a spiritual perspective, leaning on your intuition. You sometimes tend to make impulsive decisions because of that spiritual side, and it's presenting to be a problem. So when we look at our square challenge, when we look at the planet that is 90 degrees um, of the planet that we've already chosen, and to see what tensions or challenges that we may come about there as well. So with that, I'm using my other deck here to see what is in square with Mars here. So 90 degrees, we got Mars there, 90 degrees. The moon is what is 90 degrees of Mars. So your actions and your emotions are not lining up. That is what's creating the challenge for you. Your actions and your emotions are not lining up at this time. Because you want to lean on your intuition, which is a good thing. Okay. So if you can lean more into your intuition, more than trying to, how can I say this? Lean more into your intuition instead of judgment. That's the best way I can say that. Because with the Mars in action, you tend to express anger when there should be understanding. So you need to check your moods, okay? In order for you to be there for the person that you need to be there for, you need to check your moods. That's going to help release some of this challenge and some of this tension. I mean, like, you are quick to sound the alarm on somebody else's relationship, let them know, hey, girl, that ain't the one for you. Hey, dog, hey, I will check that situation, nip it in the bud. You're quick to say that, but you aren't being empathetic of that other person's feelings, what they are actually feeling. Um, and sometimes your friends don't want to tell you shit because of that. You have to be very conscious of how you use uh, about what you actually do. Okay. These are your notes. Your notes is just going to tell me whether this is something that you already have within you to do, or this is going to be something that you're going to be growing into. Oh, I got the wrong card here. Did I mix my cards up? Give me a second, y'all. I might have mixed my cards up. I did mix my cards up. But I'm going to keep that one out there. Because evidently that's the one that wanted to come out was your Chiron. And yeah, lean onto your spiritual strength. So now let's go back to your nodes. Karmic past. So these are experiences that you've already had, old habits that you have dealt with before in the past. You may have some unfinished business with a friend or a family member or a loved one that you want to address, and your past is your strength. You could not be judgmental, but just give examples of things that you may have gone through. Not to say that you know better than them, because that's how they're going to take it, but just to show them that you've been here before, you've done this before. Because you don't want to place limitations on those friendships, on those relationships, on that community building, and trying to give back to your friend. Um, and there's a lot of healing that's going to have to happen because of that. You're going to have to be vulnerable, open up your wounds more deeply, more in detail, It's one thing to say, I done been through that shit before. I will never do that again. But to actually break down the similarities and experiences that you have, why you stayed so long. Instead of just acting out and clowning, check your emotions at the door so that way your friends can hear you. You're going to have to sacrifice your desire, your need to want to strike back. Then sometimes, like, because when your friends don't accept what you are trying to show them or what you're trying to offer them, what you're trying to do for them, okay, then you have a tendency to kind of fall back. And this is not what we need to do in this time and place. So for the month of September, there may be something that you're going to be dealing with if you have not already started this month. That is going to require for you to stop whatever you normally do. Look at what has happened for you in the past. Apply some emotion into it, so a way you can see the other person's perspective or side, and that way you could be that true friend for that person and give them what they need, not what you want them to have. If that makes sense to you, hope that makes sense to you. And I do believe that by opening up and being vulnerable, you are going to be exposing some of your insecurities because there's things that you don't want people to know about you. But that's going to be the best way for you to help in this situation. If that's something that you're not going to do, you're going to fall back into that escape mode. I already see it. You're just going to allow them to do what they want to do. Like, I ain't going to keep trying. That's what I'm getting. I'm not going to keep trying over and over again to get this person to see what I want them to see. So you try to fall back and just let them bump their head, and then be like, "I told you, don't." That's not what we're trying to do for the month of September. Stop that at the door. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera on pause, and we're going to do our Capricorn reading and see if they apply to the message that we have, or there's something else for you to be said. Okay, I try to explain to you exactly about to go on. This is a Kipper reading, right? I use the German method of reading, which basically means we look for master cards. The master cards, we clarify them with a card that is not a master card, but if we keep pulling master cards, I continue to pull cards until I don't no longer receive a master card. I'll let you know as I am going through the draw, whether or not a card is a master card. If I come across a coffin card, that just means for me to stop drawing cards. That's all that means. We're not looking at it as a means of death. It just means it's the end of the conversation. All right, let's get it started here. And I do apologize. I already know that from the last viewing, the sun coming in may glare onto the cards here. Poverty. It's not a master card. I do draws of 3. You could do any number that you choose. Official person is not. Wealthy man is not. Privileged lady is not. Imprisonment is not. House, it is. So this is a MasterCard. This one is not. So I don't pull another one underneath it. So your community, we talked about that. This is where you want to get your house in order. That's the way I'm going to read that. Is within your community, within your friend circle is what I'm looking at. Thief is not. Concern is not. Bad health is not. Mature man is not. Gift is not. The journey is not. Unexpected income is not. Then we go through the cards one more time. And that's it. Poverty is not. It's your person. It's not. Wealthy man. It's not. We may not get a change in the cards until we get closer to the end when I had to pull those two out. Privileged lady. It's not. Imprisonment. Not. Mature woman. It's not. Judication. It's not. Pathway. It's not. Courthouse. Is not. Change. Is not. Great fortune. It is. False person. Toil and labor is not. Unexpected income is not. Okay, so what we got here? These are your cards that we're showing for you. We got the house, which is a MasterCard. The MasterCards are usually pretty positive, and the MasterCard, such as a great fortune, will greatly enhance all the other cards that's around and make it a more positive. So when you look at community, it's a chance for your community to get better. And when I look at community again, it's the friendships, it's your organizations that you're involved with, your relationships, um, things that you are a member of. So joining a community that is, or having a community, is very meaningful for you, and your community is only due to get larger, only due to get better. The bonds are only due to get stronger. And when I see house, I was thinking of the home itself, but I'm thinking of this as possibly something you're a member of. Something that's possibly you're a member of. And we're dealing with a false person, but you are indeed going to help expose that false person that is affecting your community. It's just how you do it, the actions that you got to take in order to get it done, how you're going to have to do it. And we came across the moon as your challenge. You getting your emotions too involved in the situation that's causing you to react in a negative way. And I know initially I said that you need to use more emotion than action, but you want to use the right emotion. You don't want to let things from your past necessarily dictate how that other person should move in regards to this false person, but you do want to use the things from your past to help your community understand why you feel the way you do, and that will help heal. But as of right now, these things are challenging each other. Okay. And like I say, you are very intuitive, you're very spiritual, and you're able to connect those things. And I say that, now this is me, that using that intuition, oh, it's here too. Using that intuition is what's going to help balance out the action. But we're not going to act on it in such a negative way that it creates more pain for us. But what I'm seeing here is that with the Great Fortune card, you're going to be able to help the person or persons in this situation, help expose this person. They're not going to be able to be deceitful, and they're not going to be able to pull the wool over your eyes. They're not going to be able to bring down the community in a way that they have by you just addressing it, but in a non-actionable way. Like you're not going to be physically up in the person's face, yada yada this, yada yada that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? You're going to talk with your community on how to best address this person. But like I say, I am with this house, I'm getting more of the community is not just your household, although it could be. It could be, but it's not just your household. But I am looking at things that you are a member of, maybe a church, maybe a sorority or fraternity, um, some other type of organization that you may be connected to. Maybe a gang affiliation, a group affiliation, something like that, you know. and there's somebody that's there that's just bringing problems, and you're going to help um, bring that in. You're going to help bring good fortune back into your house, back into your community. You just have to check those emotions and make sure that you're using them for the right reason. Make sure you don't get in your feelings and fall back when they don't do automatically what you want them to do. Because we did show that it what am I getting here? I had to pause for a moment. I'm sorry. Within the next 3 weeks, over a 2 month period, from 3 weeks to 2 months, is how I am seeing that this whole thingamajigma, this thingamabob is going to take place. It may take some time. It may be completed by the end of this month, or it's just going to start this month. And I'm sensing that the person that's causing the issue that needs to be addressed, you directly had uh, some type of connection with them in the past. That's where that unfinished business is coming in at. And this is why you believe that you have the power or the knowledge to speak on it. Maybe just exposing that fact that you already knew of this person beforehand. Something that you probably never told others because you didn't want to seem connected to that person. You were trying to keep that part separate or aside. All right, this is what I got for you for the month of September, Pisces. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next month. Peace.